Hey guys, it's Brittany. So, today I'm going to be sharing with you this dream that I've had years ago, and I still remember it. Because, there's just some dreams that I've had, no matter how long ago it was, that I still remember it. But I think it's also important to share the dreams, even of those details, so that way those dreams won't be forgotten. And so dream time is more like that. It's like the a dream diary videos, but it's just sharing details of these dreams. And this dream is one of those continued spirit Stallion of the Cimarron dreams. And the first one I shared with you was maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, but this one was another continued dream about the making of Spirit Part 2 of the sequel. And now this wasn't quite long, so I'm gonna try to tell it quick as I can. So what happened was, since what happened from the other dream that I had, that it showed where I was in working with these people to make the sequel of Spirit, and I was actually they actually let me not only be a part of to be a part of the story, to write it with them, to be a part of the movie itself, to make it, but they even let me go to the animation studio, which is the DreamWorks animation studio. And I remember when I was walking with them to the animation studio, I was just so excited, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. So the in the process of making the sequel was actually, I think the story had been written now, but now it's time for the animation to draw the characters, and to hand draw them, but also bring them to life onto the computers, of how they do it, of how they animate the hand-drawn characters and bring it to life, like how they move and everything. So I was seeing that, and as I was seeing the process of how they do it, like not only hand-drawn the characters, but how they bring these hand-drawn characters to life onto the computer, of their movements and everything, it was just amazing. And it was just so interesting. And I just remember I was just like, in a way, well, not in a way, but I was just amazed by it, like, oh my gosh, like that's how you do that. And I remember one of them who was on the computer and making Spirit move onto the computer, like with movements and everything. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And so I remember I just felt like I couldn't help but to feel I could be here all day and just to learn what they do, how they do it, and how they animate the characters onto the computer screen, bring them to life and move them around, to bring the hand-drawn characters to life. And I thought, wow, I could just learn about this all day. This is so amazing. And so, yeah, I remember, I'm not sure how long I was there. I'm pretty sure, I think I was there for almost like maybe 2 hours or so, just learning what they do, seeing how they do it, and even choosing the colors of coloring the characters and the background, and how they bring the 3D scenery, or that atmosphere to life for the movie. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so yeah, I just find it also fascinating. And I was just feeling, like I said, I was just feeling happy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is happening. They're already doing the animation for the sequel, and even though it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of process to go through, I think, for each frame and for each movement of the characters, which of course is a lot of hard work, but I appreciate all the hard work that is put into those animation films, whether if it's Disney or DreamWorks, or no matter what studio the animation movie is from, even if it's Universal or uh, I appreciate that. But I will say this though, and real quick here before I end the dream, is that I just feel sad that we don't get those animation movies anymore, where of the 2D hand-drawn animation, like, okay, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, Bambi, and Aladdin, and The Lion King. Like, I miss those. I miss those hand-drawn animations, because not only it takes a lot of hard work to bring those characters to life and to really draw them out carefully with each movement and how the character is going to move, of their like body language and everything, and the posture and just everything else. But I really appreciate the hard work that goes into those movies, and I wish we had those movies back, because they're just not only fun to watch, but they're also just really great to watch. And I believe with those animation movies, it can bring the story to life, even in a way that a live action movie can't, if you know what I mean. And even with the 3D movies we have now, like Tangled, Frozen, Frozen 2. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like Frozen and I love Frozen 2, but I just feel like, can there at least be both? Like, if we're gonna have 3D animation movies like that, then can we at least also have both, where we could have 2D hand-drawn animation, like the ones we were getting way before this, because we were getting hand-drawn animation movies for a long time, even through the 80s and 90s, and I really miss those. And now there's no longer those kinds of animation movies anymore, which is sad. And I wish they could be back, because it just brings the story to life in a whole different way, especially two guys on their motorcycles. So that's why I didn't want to continue to say what I was saying, because then you probably wouldn't have heard me, or maybe so, but that was kind of loud. But what was I saying? Yeah, I was just saying that I wish we had those back, because I feel that those kinds of animation films can bring a story to life in a way that a live action movie can't, and even in a way that a 3D animation movie can't. I feel like it's just a whole different way of storytelling and bringing these characters to life, where it just looks just beautiful and just wonderful, and I really miss that. So anyway, that's all I had to say of that. But yeah, I wish we had more of those going on, well, I wish we had more of those animation films, but we don't. But I hope at some point, hopefully they could bring it back. I really do, because for those who had those jobs and now don't have those jobs, I really feel bad, and I wish we had more of those animation films. So anyway, I said what I had to say about that. So, but yes, all I'm saying is that even with this dream is that with Spirit, it was both. Like, you get 3D animation because of the background of the scenery of where the story takes place, but also you get the 2D animation, the hand-drawn 2D animation of the characters, like the horses and the people. Like the horses and even other animals and people that are hand drawn, but are animated and come to life in the movie. So Spirit is both of 3D animation and 2D animation. But yeah, I love that, and I wish we had that more of that as well, of both. But no, we don't. But again, I wish they could bring that back, because I feel like we need more of that. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna finish with a dream here. So what happened was, because I spent like maybe close to 3 hours in the animation studio just being so amazed and fascinated by it, and since I was so happy and so excited to work with the people where I was going to be working with them, and since I was already on board with them, working on to make Spirit Part 2 and to bring it to life and seeing it coming together in the process of the animation process, it was just, again, amazing to see. Okay, what? No offense, but what is up with these guys? They're on their motorcycles and they're just driving around, and it's just loud. And I feel like when it does get louder, I feel like I have to like keep quiet and wait until they drive away. And I'm sorry for that. But I mean, they're just probably just having fun or something, and if that's what it is, then that's fine. But I'm trying to do this here. So anyway, yeah, so I remember after that, then after walking out of the animation studio, then yeah, I was still talking to them. I think I was talking to the director, and so I haven't really met the cast yet, but I remember I was just talking to the director, and he was like, so what do you think? And I'm like, that was amazing. Like, I could just watch what they do all day, like bringing the characters to life. It's just amazing to watch. And so he was happy to hear that. And so yeah, after that, I think he said, okay, well, let's go ahead and get some lunch. I don't know if it was either like lunchtime or about to get dinner, I wasn't sure, but either way, I was like, okay, well, let's go get something to eat. I'm like, sounds good, I'm hungry. So after that, that's how the dream ended. And so by the time I woke up, so when I did woke up, I found myself where I was in my room. And so when I looked around my room, still laying down in bed, and I'm like, what? And so I just remember I was like, oh, I thought, I remember I was just kind of bummed, because I thought, that felt real, and I didn't know that was a dream, because it felt real. And I just remember just thinking like, oh, like, that isn't happening. And I thought, can that happen? Can there be a sequel to Spirit? But then, I would say even now that I think about it, it's like, even if there won't be a sequel to Spirit, not even if it means bringing the 2D and 3D animation back, together again, like it was with the first Spirit, which of course you can see with my poster there, because I love it. It's my favorite movie. And yeah, the thing is, I have a lot of favorite movies though, so if you want to see a video where I list all of my favorite movies that I have, I'll do that. But yeah, I do have a lot, so. And not just that, but I think there'll be more that I think there'll be more other movies that will become my favorites, especially ones that I haven't seen before. So yeah, that was it with the dream, as I mentioned. And so yeah, after I woke up, I was just bummed, and I was just like, oh man, like, I wish that was happening, and I wish I was working with them to bring the story to life of the sequel to Spirit. But like I said, again, now that I really think about it, it's like, if there is going to be a sequel to Spirit one day, maybe one day in the future, then I hope I'm there, and I hope that I'll get to be a part of it. I really do, because Spirit, I can really relate to it personally. Now, of course, not to the horse himself, but to what he goes through on his journey, like emotionally, and what he went through is kind of like how I felt in a way, but metaphorically and emotionally as well. And so to I feel like to be a part of it, if it ever happens, that would mean so much to me, and I would just love that. But I just want to say, even if Spirit never gets a sequel, even if it never does, on one hand, I feel like I'll be okay with that. I mean, I might be a bit sad about that, but it's like, you know what? I'll be okay with that, because as long as we still get the first movie, it's like, I'm still happy with it either way, so I'm okay with that, even if we never get one. And yeah, so the Spirit is just, because from what I've heard, that I think with writer John Fusco was yeah, he actually follows me, because he actually read an article about how the article I wrote about how Spirit deserves more recognition, and so he loved it. And yes, he sent me a really nice message that I'll never forget. And so yeah, I appreciate that. And because I love the story he wrote, which was brought to life, which was so wonderful and so beautiful, I just love it. But I just want to say that he had mentioned that Spirit, that I think Spirit won't get a sequel, but it is a standalone movie. But so even if that's the case, like I said, I'm okay with that, because I don't mind. Like, I even love just standalone movies where they don't get a sequel, because it's only the first one that just has a lot more to say, and that if you know what I mean. But yes, I do feel that with Spirit, it is still, I still stand by that it deserves more recognition, definitely. So that is it for the dream that I've had, and as I had one more of a Spirit dream, and so that I'll mention maybe later this year. But yes, I will share with that soon. Excuse me. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this dream video, and let me know if you have seen Spirit. And if not, I highly recommend it. I do. It's just so great, so moving, beautiful, and touching, and heartwarming. So yeah, I highly recommend it. So I hope you guys enjoy this. So if you do love spirit like I do, please give this video a like. And for more movie content, reaction streams, and paranormal, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today. And oh, and I gotta say this real quick, but yesterday and did in fact rain. So we had thunder. I don't know if we had lightning. I'm pretty sure we did. But yes, it did rain yesterday and we had thunder and it was great. So, but we need more of that out here. So anyway, I'll see you later. That's all for today. And I'll see you at the movies.